Hey there, welcome to another pastorblogs.com tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to be looking at some of the simple site-wide SEO changes, and we're also going to look at drilling down on some of the individual page SEO settings that you can use to update how Google sees a page and what is shared when, say, someone shares a blog post or a page linked to Facebook. And so we're starting here on our dashboard. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to where it says SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and it helps make sure that your site or Google sees your website and other search engines see your website the way you want it to. Now, you have access to a lot of SEO settings here, but there's very few that you actually have to really worry about from your standpoint as a user. The first thing is I would check off this box. It might already be checked off on yours. For most of these, like I said, you don't have to do anything here. This is all just kind of technical stuff that isn't for you to worry about. Our Pastor Blogs automatically handles the majority of stuff. First thing we want to look at is our homepage settings. And you can see meta title additions. Basically, this pulls from the tweaks that we made in another video in our admin stuff, in our site settings, where we looked at site admin. We changed the site title and the tagline. So our site title is Church Tools, and our tagline is Tools that Help Church Leaders. What you'll want to do here is write a meta description for your homepage. The meta description can be used to determine the text used under the title. What that means is that the meta description will automatically pull from the first few paragraphs of content or the first paragraph of content that you have on your website. The thing is, you might want to be more descriptive or more intentional with what is shared in that meta description. So write an intentional description of your homepage here. Make sure it's about a tweet and a half. So about 200 and some odd characters, 220 characters will be great. 210 characters is a tweet and a half, right? Next is the social media settings. And so not only is SEO for search engine optimization, but it also makes sure that your website talks to websites like Facebook and Twitter correctly as well. You want to leave all these checked right here so that the open graph settings that Facebook uses and Twitter uses, the meta tags, all that jazz, just leave it as is. What's important here is a social fallback image. I like to select an image to use as like a default when my website is shared on social media. And I'm just going to select this image right here. I'm going to crop the image so that it is the size that social media needs, basically. And you can also set different things for Facebook and Twitter. So on Facebook here, you have the ability to tie in like a Facebook app ID or a publisher page or the author page for things like this. You can put in like your personal profile here. You can put in your like your business profile, your business page here, or your ministry page, church page, whatever. And you can get a Facebook app ID just by clicking on this little question mark here. It'll open the developer.facebook stuff that's connected to your Facebook profile. Twitter, same here. You can put in your website Twitter profile, Twitter author fallback profile, and there's descriptions of things here. You can use this to define your username if you forgot. And you shouldn't have to mess with anything else here. Schema is another way of making sure that Google and search engines are looking at your website correctly. You shouldn't have to worry about any of this. What you can do on presence is we can make sure that the website recognizes that this is a person or an organization. If this pastorblogs.com is representing your ministry, you'd be an organization. If you're just a guy like me, Andrew Peters, Pastor Andrew, whatever, I would click a person and I would type in like Pastor Andrew Peters right here, or Andrew Peters, whichever. You can enable a logo. I don't usually like using the default logo that I set for my blog because it usually has a clear background, and if it's going to be used for different purposes, I like to make sure I select my own logo. So I wouldn't use this one for Pastor Blogs because it's clear. I would use this one, so it has the fallback color here, and this is what will get seen instead of just whatever it happens to be on top of. In the site settings earlier, so in the appearance area, we set some Facebook profiles. That is just attached to the links throughout the site. This area right here, and maybe in the future we'll have it where it automatically fills those in, but we don't have a way to do that right now. And so here you can connect your SEO settings to the different profiles that you have around the internet. I definitely recommend doing Facebook, Twitter. They're getting rid of Google Plus, Instagram, YouTube, and this just lets Google know that, hey, I'm in all these other places as well. This is a legit site. Let's keep scrolling down. Shouldn't have to mess with any of these. This stuff for Webmaster and is something that we'll handle elsewhere. We'll handle it automatically when we set up our analytics here in a little while. Probably in the in step 7 is when that is, where we do the nerd stuff. Sitemap settings, again, this is something we'll use in a future video where we connect our website to Google Search Console. You shouldn't have to mess with any of these feed settings as well. If you're setting up an automatic feed, so like if you post a blog and it automatically goes to your newsletter subscribers, you can get the feed just by clicking right here, copy that link. And that'll be like the blog feed that for all the posts that you write, that will automatically go out to your subscribers. And that's all the simple SEO settings for the site-wide stuff. Now we're going to take just a moment and we're going to look at the individual pages. So let's bring up all the pages. Oh, we got to save those settings, huh? Save settings. And then we're going to bring up all the pages that we have on our website. And let's just go to the About page. Now, I'm pretty particular about this. By the way, this is the edit page area on the back end. You probably launch the page builder from the front end, but you can also do it from the back end here as well. But what I'm going to do is scroll down to the page SEO settings. And if I want to, my page title is just About on the front end. And so I want to make my page title About Church Tools. And maybe, and I can remove the blog name as well and type in something else, or I can just leave the blog name there. So basically the default setting is the page title followed by the name of the website, which is Church Tools. Next, I want to write a good meta description for my page. One, I want to do this because if I don't, it will just pull the first few words of the page that I'm looking at. And if we go look at that page, what that means is that it's going to pull Pastor Andrew, equipping church leaders to become, and it's going to put my name again and pull a little bit of this first paragraph. But I don't want it to do that. I don't want it to say about. I don't want it to say my name twice right after each other. Instead, I want to say, something about me, something about the page, and I want to be intentional with what I share. One, because what I write here is what Google will see first. This is the description of the page that search engines see, and it's the description of the page that helps my search results. It's also the description that if someone shares we're working on the About page, if someone shares my About page to Facebook, this is what we'll see in that little snippet that you see when someone shares a link. That's the meta description. Second is we can click over to social, and if we want, we can select images or the titles here as well for this. I usually also you will usually add a featured image to every page when you're making your pages. You'll want to come back in on the back end and select featured images for all the pages that are on your website. I like to also go the extra mile and use an image for the social image URL. So whenever I make a new page, or a new blog post, whatever, I want to give it a social image URL as well, so that I know this is the image that is going to be shared or that is going to be seen when someone shares my my page or my post. by default, usually it goes to the featured image, but as you can see, there are a few other images here, and we don't really have control over whether it shares the featured image, whether it shares one of these images, but I do have control when I set the social image that it's going to share right here. You usually don't have to worry about any of the visibility settings. That's for more intense SEO type stuff. And so that's all in this tutorial. We looked at doing the site-wide SEO settings, as well as making sure that we come back into all the pages that we have and the posts that we're writing, and we're being descriptive in the title, the description, and setting a social image.